Vacationing Joe Whitty. Hi, Elliot.
Morning, Liz, and good morning, Bob. Morning, everyone. We do have a very active tropical system out in the Atlantic right now. Let's look, first of all, at the pictures of where those storms are so we can get a good feel for that. First of all, Dennis is this one in the area north of Hispaniola. Cindy is way, way out in the ocean. And we also have Emily located off the coast of South America. Dennis is the one that is posing the most threat. But right now, this is only a 45-mile-per-hour hurricane. That's the kind of wind that we would experience in a severe thunderstorm. It's the kind of thing we might get in a storm on the East Coast in the winter. Not big yet. Only if it develops into a hurricane will it actually pose much of a threat. Unfortunately, it looks like it is going to grow into that type of a threat as we go through later today and tonight. Back on land, showers and thunderstorms are going to be common in the east. We can see these right now, showers and thunderstorms from eastern Ohio and western Pennsylvania down across into Tennessee, others in Virginia and North Carolina. Rest of the country, though, you're going to have a real nice day today. It's going to be beautifully sunny across the plains. Temperatures will be climbing up into the 70s and 80s across most of the central plains, 80s and 90s in parts of the Rockies. As we look at the eastern states, 70s and 80s will be very common. Not a lot of the extreme heat that we've had recently, although those of you in North Texas are going to get back to the heat. Bob, Liz?
Heat in Texas. Unusual. Thank you, Elliot. Elliot Abrams. Just ahead, we'll see how the world markets are doing this morning.
And a little.
And I guess we're going to see now if any of these tropical storms are out hunting for bear. Let's take a look at them right now. We see the three storms. First of all, this is Dennis. This is the one that is the biggest threat at the moment. It's not a big storm at the moment because we have 45-mile-an-hour winds with it, but if it turns into a hurricane later today and then comes toward the East Coast, then that's a big problem. Cindy's way, way out here in the ocean. It's moving westward, but it's nowhere near anybody. And here's Emily down here. It's off the South American coast. Could affect these islands, but it's not a problem right now. Let's look on land. We have a lot of cloudiness over the eastern part of the country. That's good news because it means drought-denting rains. Across the rest of the country, it's really pretty, and it's beginning to dry out in much of Texas. But here are the showers and thunderstorms that are from eastern Kentucky up to near the Pittsburgh area. Then they curl around westward into southern Michigan. And when we look at the national map, we can see why this is occurring. Low pressure area in the Midwest, and that low pressure area is moving eastward. And as it does so, it's going to cause showers to spread toward the eastern seaboard, but the rest of the country stays dry, and that's the picture for the next couple of days. Now, the temperatures today are going to be basically in the 80s and 90s across the plains, 70s and 80s across the north, and it's going to go back down to the 60s and 70s tonight in most areas. But once again, showers and thunderstorms coming into the east, and we're going to be watching these tropical storms over the next few days. And what happens to this storm in the east is going to have a lot to do with just how close Dennis can come to the coast later on in the week and toward the weekend. But again, not a threat right away, but if it does turn into a hurricane, it could become a big threat in a hurry. So we're going to keep watching it. Back to you, Tyler.
Elliot, thank you very much. Elliot Abrams with the AccuWeather Business Forecast. In just a couple of minutes.
We are watching the three tropical storms in the Atlantic right now, and those storms, well, let's see exactly where they are. One of them, Dennis. This is the one that is the biggest threat. Right now, the top winds in it are only about 45 miles per hour. That's no bigger than a northeaster that comes up the eastern seaboard during the winter time, so it's really not that terrible a storm, but it's well organized. It's going to grow during the course of the day. It's over warm water. And if it continues to move northwestward toward the U.S. mainland, could be a factor this weekend, and there wouldn't be very much time to prepare, but no preparation needed yet. Cindy and Emily are farther out at sea. Let's look at the clouds. A lot of clouds, eastern Ohio Valley. This is very important because this area had been having a tremendous drought in the soybean area, but now has gotten copious rainfall. Farther west, dry weather across the middle of the country. Some showers and thunderstorms will fire up today in the plains, and it's going to be a dry day in the west. Bob?
Thanks, Elliot. Quick question. When do they name the storms? How strong do they have to be?
They named, well, 35 miles per hour or stronger as a rule is a tropical storm, and then we get up to 74 miles per hour, then it's a hurricane.
Then it's a hurricane about that. Thanks, Elliot. Elliot Abrams.
Right.